Gears is going back in time. Doom is going back in time. Metal Gear is going back in time. And there was so much more. Xbox Game Showcase presented over 30 video games. And the best part is I want to play all of them in 2025. That's like a year later. Starting with the big one, Gears E-Day. It's incredible to see that Gears is coming back with the prequel where the Locusts finally attacked, coming from the ground up and attacked the city. Gears of War is Xbox's biggest game, while Gears 5 and Gears 6 were still liked, but it was not as much because Marcus was not as much involved. But Gears of War, that's a different thing on its own. It's so cool to see the young Marcus back again, and according to the trailer, it was using the assets on Unreal Engine 5. The lighting and everything is on Unreal Engine 5. That is exactly how the game is going to look like. However, still it was a cinematic, a cutscene of sorts, so we still don't know how the gameplay is going to be and how the game will really play like. Doom is going back in time with Doom the Dark Ages. This time we are going to the medieval times. Doom guy is having a shield with spikes on it and he has a furry cloak. Looks incredible. It might be possible that Mick Gordon is not working on the soundtrack because, well, Doom Eternal had a lot of controversy on that side. The game is also coming to PS5 because according to Phil Spencer, this is a game that everybody should play. The action is wild. We are riding dragons apparently. Now we are also controlling a titan to fight bigger giants. It's insane. And again, the action, Doom always does the best. Expedition 33 is a unique game that has that AAA feel but also include turn-based combat. I was just not expecting that this type of combat will be available in a game like this, because usually these type of combats are available with a different aesthetic and feel to the game. But since the game is on, I'm assuming, Unreal Engine 5, it looks incredible and also plays quite differently, and that is intriguing. And also Mario is in this game.
Fuck you, it's me, Mario.
South of the Midnight caught my attention the moment I saw the first 30 seconds of the trailer. It's literally right down my alley. The art style is amazing, pleasing to me, and the character looks cool because it has that stop motion feel to it, big giant animals and incredible gameplay. And it being an action adventure with all those magical things happening, it's literally something that I'm super stoked to play. Metal Gear Snake Eater Remake. The visuals are amazing as usual, Unreal Engine 5 I'm assuming, and the animation and takedowns are exactly what Snake does all the time, with quirky little humor here and there. We saw some gameplay as well, so that was pretty cool. I actually got in touch with David Hayter, the man who plays Snake in all these games, and he mentioned that he would love to be on the podcast Behind the Voice when the game comes out. So I'm hoping the game comes out sometime next year, because when it comes out, I would love to have David on the show. Perfect Dark was really surprising because I did not see that coming at all. I had no idea because I've never played the first game, so I couldn't get the hints if there were any. Visually, it's impressive, and even the gameplay looks strong. And you can scan the environments, look for enemies, you have multiple takedowns it seems like. I hope the gunplay is as good as it seems. But it was a great presentation because it showed all gameplay, or most of it was gameplay, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be a banger when the game comes out. Oh, for God's sakes, where's the release window? We finally got to see more of Fable. I never expected the game to look actually as good as its cinematics. It definitely piqued my interest with the magical creatures and everything. And again, I haven't played any Fable game. I know, but I would love to play this game. We did get to see a lot more cinematics than gameplay, so I'm not so sure how the game is exactly gonna play, but still we got to see some of it, so I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. Mixtape is another game that is right down my alley. Being a Life is Strange fan, I'm in love with games like these, and Mixtape gave me exactly that. Music is the forefront of this game. You have skateboarding, that character design and the art style and the aesthetic and the feel. Something definitely bad is gonna happen because games like these usually have those narrative choices, and I think I'm just gonna be inspired by the music like all these games have. And speaking of Life is Strange is coming back with double exposure. Now I feel bad because when I was watching it, I did not recognize Max's voice. I cannot believe I could not recognize Hannah Tell's voice. I would love to have her in the podcast as well. But I'm so happy that Max is coming back in Life is Strange. And obviously there's hate online for some reason. Obviously people are asking what ending is canon in the game. If you have played the first game, then you know that you have to either save Chloe or not save Chloe. In Life is Strange 2, we saw Max did save Chloe, but the trailer of this new game might show that Max did not save Chloe. Now again, the power of Max has evolved. She can go through different timelines. It could be possible that the current timeline that the game is showing is actually an alternate timeline of its own, and when she goes through another timeline, she might enter the timeline that we saw in Life is Strange 1. Troy Baker and Indiana Jones, that's what I'm calling it. It has that Uncharted vibe, it has that Uncharted feel, but funny enough, Uncharted was inspired by Indiana Jones and a game like Tomb Raider. With a first-person perspective, it would be interesting if the action-adventure aspect of this game will hit the same way as the Uncharted or the Tomb Raiders have done, but I do have faith with machine games because they've made some incredible Wolfenstein games. However, that was full-on FPS shooting. This is not exactly the same. We did see a lot of cutscenes, then gameplay, which was a little bit disappointing. Even though the game is coming out this year, it would have been good if we saw a little bit more gameplay than a chunk of cutscenes. Stalker 2 looks mind-blowing. Being a fan of FPS game and also playing Metro games, I'm stoked for Stalker 2. While I have never played any of the Stalker games, I have experienced Metro, so I know a little bit of it. I would love to jump into this game. It's coming out on September 5th. I'm excited for it. Probably gonna get it Game Pass at that time. But the game looks incredible. The visual, the aesthetic, the feel, the dark, gritty nature of the game, the gunplay, whatever is happening with the sci-fi theme, it is all incredible. It has piqued my interest and I'm definitely playing this. And speaking of FPS, there was Call of Duty 2. Yep, that looked good. Xbox did a great job on presenting this showcase, showing all of these wonderful games, and this way they're also making people excited for the Game Pass. I believe a lot of people might be extending the Game Pass subscription. I know I will whenever a new game will drop. I do have a suspicion that in Perfect Dark, the main lead is voiced by Alex Wilton Regan. I could be very wrong, but I did talk to Alex Wilton Regan, who has played Alt Cunningham in Cyberpunk, Aya in Assassin's Creed Origins, and so many incredible characters. Take a look at this new episode of Behind the Voice podcast where I talked to Alex Wilton Regan, and you can check out other episodes I've talked to actors from Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake 2, Uncharted, Resident Evil, and so many more.